Hello and welcome to the April 2022 Capstone Fund 5 video report. Again, this is for the March collections period, February accrual period. This month we had a 10.6% return for all you investors, which is really great. I'm happy with it, particularly because last month I talked about a little bit of idle cash from a bunch of payoffs, so that I expected a little bit of a pullback in the return for this month and maybe next, but that didn't happen. What actually happened was we had a big payoff on a loan that was a few months behind, so got all caught up on interest, and that helped us out this month. So those kinds of things happen in Fund 5. It's just a result of how we manage the portfolio, and it worked out well for us this month. So that's great. We have $10.9 million in Fund 5 right now, and that's growing. We had a few new investors last couple weeks come in, but at the end of this accrual period, $10.9 million. So looking good to push up towards $20 million for next year. So that 10.6% return was the result of having $112,000 of cash collections ready for distribution. That was on $10.9 million of capital in Fund 5 at the end of the accrual period. So we're doing well, pushing up towards that $20 million mark we want to hit going into the end of the year. For a little national news, millennials starting to be the largest home buyer segment in terms of generations at 37%. Remember, millennials, they were renters for a long time and kind of thought of as the renter generation. But now those millennials are moving into home ownership and made up that 37% of home buyers in the last couple months. So that's an interesting trend to be looking at as the millennials, who are a little more affluent than previous first generation home buyers, start looking at mid and upper end first time home buying, making those mid-level and a little bit higher end homes a little more competitive. So those millennials waiting for later in life to buy their first home, their 30s or whatever, more affluent, more money available for a first-time home purchase compared to Generation X like myself or whatever, really making that part of the market a little more competitive than it normally would be. The other thing I wanted to include was, while interest rates are rising, and last week or the week before hit, I think, 5.11%, it's really not slowing down the home buying activity. In fact, there's only about 700,000 homes available and listed right now in the United States overall, only 700,000. So it's real important to be looking at that inventory as the key thing to kind of be focusing on in terms of home prices versus strictly looking at interest rates. Interest rates, of course, are affecting affordability and how many people might be in the market. Maybe there's some first-time home buyers that have been priced out right now according to their debt to income ratio because of interest rates moving up. But the inventory is only 700,000. So we're still at the point where we're way undersupplied in the housing market and not expecting any significant type of pullback in pricing at this point. Homes might be on the market a little longer, thank God, because these Fund 5 loans are paying off so fast it's hard to keep the money deployed. So it's going to be good for us if some of these loans are out a little longer and these homes take a little longer to sell. That'll be good for our returns and keeping our money deployed, actually. So that's it for national news. I'm going to touch real quickly on local markets. Over the last few months, we've talked about which suburbs have seen the largest 12-month jump in appreciation. So this month, we're going to keep that trend going. Here we have Queen Creek at 42% month over month, 12 months ago versus now. Tullison at 41%. And then the Phoenix market overall, 27.6%. Median price last month, $447,000 in the Phoenix market. So that's what we had for our local market report this month. Now remember, we're at $10.9 million in Fund 5 at the end of this accrual period, being February. We're pushing towards that $20 million mark going into the end of the year. We had a few new investors the last month, which is great. We'll talk about that next video. So just remember, tell your friends, your family. Some of you have got some new people call me. Let them know about Fund 5. They want some proven results, easy returns that they're going to love. Make sure they call us, get them in touch, and we'll get them into Fund 5 family as well. And then they can get these videos along with you and have a good time with us. So have a great rest of your month, great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you next month. Thank you.